these are chicken scratch to show concepts and ideas, not UI. um,
You
so
mean it's not
there's
going
like,
to look like this? God, I'm so disappointed.
I mean, it can. um, so I don't know how to draw crooked lines like that in CSS though, so I don't know. Um, so there's obviously a org view of all the notebooks, everything going on, and there's kind of like two concepts. There's what's going on today, and then what has gone, what has happened in the past. Um, so the things that are like in this case, you'll see three of our teams that there. The stuff that's going on today will be at the top. You'll see the teams. You'll see the team status. Maybe we'll show you some of the latest stuff. I don't know. That's what this little twirl down and drop down thing is. I don't know if we're going to do that or not, but um, we'll tell you, hey, this is how many blocks or logs or things that are in here. These are the people that are commenting on it. Um, and we're still kind of debating what else we put there on the top level, but you'll see that and you'll see the status indicators. And then I got a bunch of concepts here for pass logs where it could be as simple as a list, where it's like, hey, July 13th, here's remember that press release idea. Here's a press release for Team Non, and here's a press release for Team OG, and then you can click into it to go to that notebook. We could do it like cards instead. So we have like different cards, and then the press release. It's almost like a blog post at that point, right? Where you have like the intro text. I think isn't that what WordPress calls it, intro text? Um, the intro text of the press release right there, and you can see the status of the team. And then again, you click in to get to the notebook. Another concept was being able to scrub, so you could in maybe like a 2 week time, you could kind of scrub left and right to the different days, and then we would show you the different teams' press releases depending on the day. So that's another concept there. Then when you get to the detail screen or the actual notebook, you would have the day at the top. You'd have the status that can be edited at the top. At any point, the team can edit their summary or their press release at the top too. Well, maybe it's at the top. I'm assuming. I don't know. And then at that point, then the rest of it's kind of like a Notion doc. You can click anywhere. It'll open up what you see here with the plus in the little window. That's our what we call our compose component, which is the same thing that's in the activity feed. So you can click anywhere and it'll open that up. You can fill stuff out, at somebody, pound to reference a PR, or pick a different kind of block. Maybe it's a to-do block like we just talked about earlier. And then you just drop those on the page. And then teams can comment on those blocks that you drop on there. So then there's like this little threaded information. And then if the activity feed's open, we were talking about like the idea of like dragging and dropping something in the activity feed onto the notebook as well. So that's some concepts there. This one, the reason I put two columns is because I just wanted to put the concepts on the page of things that we know we want action items. They could be in the notebook. They don't have to be off to the side, but we know that's a special thing we want in there. And we do want to highlight special things that the user needs to know, like, hey, this needs attention because you're blocking somebody, or somebody's waiting for you to review this PR. So we do want to highlight those things, whether it's in the notebook or kind of like off to the side. In the notebook, we don't know yet. We're still kind of brainstorming that. I'm going to skip that. Yeah, the other thing is when you come to the notebook at the beginning of your day, we want to ask you questions. Hey, here's what your day looks like. That this issue is blocked and was blocked yesterday by you, or labeled blocked. Is it still blocked? This PR is waiting for you. Are you going to be able to review it? I don't want to be so micromanaging to ask that in that wording, but those kind of ideas. And then you can surface things like, hey, what's up next for you? Or are you waiting for somebody for something or whatever? You can kind of answer some questions that we'll have, and that'll show up in the notebook too. And I think the rest of these sketches are kind of technical, like how we're going to organize the blocks and that kind of stuff. But that's pretty much it. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts jokes, stories, anecdotes.
Yeah, I like it. I'm just curious what, especially especially the individual engineers. I'm just kind of curious, like what people's thoughts are, and like, would this be useful and usable, at least in concept. I know a lot of this will come down to implementation and UX and how it kind of works, but
Yeah, I mean, I personally think it'll be super helpful if we can just kind of get all of this in a one-stop shop screen, so to speak, where it's something I not only like want to come to, but kind of have to come to every morning. And as kind of teams all across the industry start to veer away from the traditional like face to face or even virtual meeting stand up, we can kind of remove that and just have it done all, offline, so to speak, on our platform. So, I think it would definitely be useful.